very interesting game with the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Cleveland Browns. So we talked about this game on Sunday night, and the game was at 1.5. And you said to me, who do you think we want to take here? And I'm like, we want to take the Ravens. Now the number's at 2.5. And that was the right instinct for us. The wise guys have come in on Baltimore, but the tickets are all coming in on Cleveland because of what they did this past weekend. Deshaun finally looked right, and that defense is so dominant. But I think, and the Ravens losing the Colts, Ravens were in a very bad spot against the Colts. Like Lamar as a favorite, 6-15 as a favorite, 6-0 as an underdog. So this will be the first healthy / good QB this Browns defense has faced, if you want to frame it in context. So I still like the Ravens here.
And whatever that trend was, I think there was more to it because he's been an underdog more than 6 times in his career.
No, past 2 seasons, I said.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. So, yeah, first glance, it was like I want to take the Ravens after such a bad loss. But the fear here is they have a lot of injuries, Chad. And that was on me, not last week, not factored in. I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal just because their scheme is so great on offense. And yeah, that's one of those where, like, if it gets the +3, how do I not take it? But all the stuff, everything I look at with this Cleveland team, that defense is unbelievable. So it's really hard to know what's real and what's fake just because they played against a Pittsburgh team that, sure, they're not as bad as we perceive, but they're not that good, right? They played against a Tennessee team that we just don't think that's good, and they played against a banged-up Joe Burrow in week 1. So if you look through the numbers, though, they're historically great right now. Like, this defense has been incredible. Will be their first real test, right, with the Ravens. So if I know they're banged up, but if I'm getting +3, like you just said, Lamar's a dog, has been good money. I think it's in his career, he's like 19-5 against the spread as a dog. Yep. So I could be wrong. That's off the top of my head, but I remember it being something really high like that. I'll take it, Chad, if it gets the +3. I just don't know if it's going to be one of our 5 best bets this week.
The Ravens are 19-4 against the spread in their last 23 games as an underdog.
Yeah, that's
19-5 as a dog since 2018. A couple other things, and I want to ask you about this Browns defense. But number one, teams that lost straight up as favorites of a touchdown or more in their previous game. So we're talking about Jacksonville, Baltimore, Dallas, teams that were favorites of a touchdown or more and lost straight up. 55% against the spread the following week. And also divisional. So this is relevant to the Miami Buffalo game and this game. I asked Evan this last night because I just assumed like you automatically want to play a division favorite at less than a field goal. He had the stat for me last night. Home team, less than 3-point favorites in the division, last 20 years, 46% against the spread. Which is interesting to me because Cleveland and Buffalo are like that. And what's interesting is I like Baltimore and I like Buffalo, and we're going to get to Buffalo. But here's one thing, and it's about those 2 games as well. You said this on Sunday night. Miami's offense is kind of like the Matrix. Cleveland's defense is kind of like the Matrix. And so what you just said is really interesting because we're talking about how do you measure what you're seeing on the field and what the stats are showing you about this Cleveland defense with all of the history that we're seeing, both specifically about Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, and teams in this spot?
Yeah, I honestly, the Cleveland defense thing is like something we were on early in the year. Like, we loved their D-line. We loved everything about it. The shocking part is how good their secondary is. Like, that's something I didn't see becoming what it is. So Jim Schwartz, I knew they'd be improved under him. It's incredible how good they are, Trent. So that's why I love this game, because it's like, this is a real test for this team. Even though that the Ravens are banged up, still a great offense. And if there's a defense that can shut it down, they've built it. Like, the Browns have built this defense that it's kind of like the Jets defense that shut down Josh Allen. They have so much speed on the edge, and they have so much push in the middle from the D tackles. These mobile quarterbacks that want to get out and move out of the pocket, it's not going to be able to do it against this Browns team. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do against Lamar, because they pretty much designed this defense for him, honestly. Like they didn't design it for Joe Burrow. They didn't design it for Kenny Pickett. In this division, they designed it to stop Lamar with the athletes they got up front. So, yeah, right now, Myles Garrett, you know, a lot of these defensive players will have one good game, then one bad game, you know, one off night, whatever. He has not had that. If you go through and watch his tape in these past 3 games, he is the best player in football right now, the defensive position. Everything the other team does is centered around how do you stop Myles Garrett, and he's still, I think, getting a sack per game right now. So it is incredible stuff, everything we've seen from this Browns team. So yeah, I love that we broke them down. I think it was week 1, right? Film session.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're just such a fun team to watch if you're a film nerd. And yeah, there's a bunch of great games this week. This is one of them.
Yeah. All right. So it seems to me we lean Baltimore 2.5. We hope to get the 3.
We want the 3.
But we don't know what we'll do come Sunday.
Yeah, and if you're someone that likes the Browns, you believe in them, grab the 2.5 now. Like if you believe in this team, I got no issue with it because to me, this is really a tight line. Like I make it where it's got to be 1.5, 2. It's right around it.